day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Roslyn Joy Chutsayan Concha from Section B Criminology 2. And I am here to present and demonstrate the 4 types of methods in searching evidence in a crime scene. So the first type of method is the spiral method, which you start here in the outer point and gradually moves toward the center or the middle. So it is also called as the circular method. Middle part of the spiral method, and we can also start here in the middle point or the center point in the spiral method, and move outward away from the center point, and it is called the inward spiral method. The second type of method in searching evidence is the grid method, which the crime scene is divided into a grid, and in each grid segment is investigated or researched by one investigator. The third type of method in searching evidence in a crime scene is the zone method or the quadrant method, which in the crime scene it is divided into 4 or quadrants, and in each quadrant it will be searched, and in every boxes or quadrant there will be one specific investigator assigned. So kapag tapos ko na itong sector 1, may panibagong ulit na investigator na magsa-search doon sa sector 2. So, ayun ang ating zone method or quadrant method. So, the fourth type of method in searching evidence in a crime scene is the strip method or the line method, which in this method, there will be several investigators walk across the scene in a straight line and walks very slowly. So, ayun ang strip or line method. In continuation, let's proceed to the proper collection and preservation of evidence in a crime scene. But before that, take note, as an investigator, we must wear proper protective equipment or PPE to avoid contamination and tampering. And also, for girls, we must tie our hair and use net to avoid falling off hair in the evidences. So let's proceed. So the first type of evidence is the liquid form, which we have here the example of blood. Take note, this is a fake blood. So in collecting of liquid form like blood, we use cotton buds and gauze pads. So here, so ayan, we must dry it first before we wrap it in a clean paper. before we put it in the envelope. Ayan. So, ayan. And after we put it in the envelope, we will seal it with tape. And after that, we will put the name of the evidence and put your signature or initial as the investigator. Kasi yan ay mapupunta sa korte. So, next is the next type of evidence is the dried stain. So, we have here yung dried blood. Yan. So, in collection of dried stain, kung ito ay nasa floor, we use knife para makuha siya. Then, we put it in a clean paper. And wrap it before we put it again in an envelope. So, ayan. Then, after we put the evidence or the dried stain, we seal it with tape again. And don't forget to put the name of the evidence and your signature as the investigator. Next is the fibers. So, in a crime scene, meron talaga yung mga incidents na or time na napupunit yung damit ng suspect or nung biktima. So, ayan. In collecting the fibers, we put it in the paper bag and seal it with tape. And then sign those information in the paper bag. And don't forget to affix your signature. The next evidence is the broken glass. But for our safety, hindi basag yung gagamitin natin. But kapag basag naman yung glass, we use paper clip to collect them. And we will put them in the paper bag again. And seal it with tape, and don't forget to fill up those information, especially your signature and the name of the evidence. So lastly, the last type of evidence are the tool marks.
So these are the example of tool marks evidence, which is the example of physical evidence, wherein it is not possible to take them then photograph it. Is an important evidence because its goal is to establish a link between a tool mark and the tool that created it. That's all, and thank you for watching and listening. Ciao!